A band is an allowed range of electron energies in a solid. A band gap is an energy range in a solid where electrons cannot have energies. A conductor is a material with little or no band gap, so electrons move easily. An insulator is a material with a large band gap, so electrons do not move easily. A semiconductor is a material with an intermediate band gap that can be controlled. A valence band is the highest energy band that is filled with electrons at low temperature. A conduction band is an energy band where electrons can move through a material. A charge carrier is a particle-like entity that transports electric charge in a material. A hole is a missing electron in a nearly full band that behaves like a positive charge carrier. An N-type semiconductor is a semiconductor where electrons are the main charge carriers. A P-type semiconductor is a semiconductor where holes are the main charge carriers. A p-n junction is a boundary between P-type and N-type semiconductor regions. A depletion region is a region near a p-n junction with very few mobile charge carriers. Forward bias is a condition where a p-n junction is connected to let current flow more easily. Reverse bias is a condition where a p-n junction is connected to block current flow. A transistor is a device that can control a large current using a small signal. An amplifier is a device that increases the size of a signal. A sensor is a device that converts a physical input into a measurable signal. A photodiode is a device that produces an electric response when light hits it. A photovoltaic cell is a device that converts light energy into electrical energy. A superconductor is a material that can carry current with no electrical resistance under certain conditions. A critical temperature is the temperature below which a material becomes superconducting. Magnetic levitation is suspension without contact using magnetic forces. A plasma is a state of matter where many particles are ionized and move freely. An ionization is the process of creating ions by removing or adding electrons. Recombination is the process where an electron and an ion, or hole, come together and neutralize. A vacuum is a region with very few particles. Mean free path is the average distance a particle travels between collisions. A collision is an interaction where particles exchange momentum and energy. An elastic scattering is scattering in which total kinetic energy is preserved. An inelastic scattering is scattering in which kinetic energy changes form. A wave packet is a localized group of waves that travels together. A particle wavelength is the wave-like description associated with a moving particle. Quantization is the idea that some physical quantities take discrete allowed values. An energy level is one of the allowed discrete energies of a system. A quantum state is a complete description of a system in quantum theory. A probability amplitude is a quantity in quantum theory whose size relates to probability. A wave function is a mathematical object used to represent a quantum state. Measurement, in quantum theory, is the process that produces a definite outcome from a quantum state. An uncertainty relation states that certain pairs of quantities cannot both be precisely determined at once. Superposition is the principle that a system can be described as a combination of multiple states. A mixed state is a statistical description of a system that is not in a single pure quantum state. Entanglement is a quantum correlation where parts of a system cannot be described independently. Decoherence is the loss of observable quantum interference due to interaction with the environment. A classical limit is the regime where quantum behavior becomes well approximated by classical physics. Relativity is a framework where measurements depend on the observer's state of motion. The speed of light is a universal constant that is the same for all inertial observers in vacuum. Time dilation is the effect where time passes at different rates for observers in relative motion. Length contraction is the effect where lengths along the direction of motion appear shorter to a moving observer. Simultaneity is the concept of events happening at the same time, which can depend on the observer. A spacetime event is something that happens at a specific place and time. Spacetime is a unified description combining space and time into one framework. A light cone is the set of possible paths light can take through spacetime from an event. Causality is the principle that causes must precede effects within allowed spacetime connections. Gravity, in general relativity, is described as curvature of spacetime. Curvature is the way geometry bends away from being flat. A geodesic is the straightest possible path in a curved space or spacetime. A gravitational wave is a ripple in spacetime that travels outward from changing massive systems. A black hole is a region where gravity is so strong that light cannot escape. An event horizon is the boundary around a black hole beyond which signals cannot escape.